Hello everyone, this is Jackie Williams, and in this video I want to share with you a fun fold card that just takes a few pieces to create. And I'm going to be using the Love Cats stamp set for my demonstration sample. And I have created a template for you, so please watch the video to see how it goes together, but you can also find the link under or above the video to download your template as well. Now, this is the card that I was sent by my friend Melinda Levitt, and she sent me this years ago, but I've kept it, and I thought it was just a cute and simple idea for a fun little pop-up card. Now, I'm going to show you the basics, but you can also step it up, and I have a few stepped up examples to share with you at the end. So the first thing I want to do is start with the two main pieces, and now, of course, these measurements are all adjustable, but these are just really good starting points. So it's 5.5 by 5 3/4 inches, and then we have 5 3/4 by 2 3/4, or whatever scrap you have left when you've cut this piece. This could be 2.5 or 2 7/8, doesn't matter, but just a little bit short, or about half, roundabouts the size of this one. And then both of them have 2 3/4 inch score lines on one end, and I did them on the same end on the diagram just for clarity, but you'll see how this goes together. Now I'm going to use a card base of Pool Party, and you'll see that I'm going to score at 5 inches and 4 1/4, which gives me my 2 3/4 inch sections. Or if it makes more sense to you, you can score from this end at 3/4 and 1 1/2. And then I have my smaller piece, and we'll just score those the same way. Now, just to make the background more interesting, I'm going to stamp on there with the hand-drawn dots background stamp. And I'm going to use my Stamparatus tool. It's just a nice one to use for those larger stamps. And I'm going to stamp that in Versamark so I get a nice tone-on-tone effect. There we go. Now, the thing about the Versamark is it does get a little darker as it dries. Now I'm going to fold those in a Valley Mountain fold, and make sure to crease those with your bone folder. And then this piece is actually going to face the other direction and also folded in a Valley Mountain fold. So that one will look like that. And then they will eventually sit together like this. But first, I want to put on the pop-up mechanism, and this is easier than it might look. Now, I'm going to use a piece of basic gray, mostly just so that you can see it easier on the video. If I were making this to give to someone, I would probably use Pool Party just so it blended in a bit more. And I have a piece that's 1 3/4 inches wide and about 5/8 inch, or you could even do 1/2 inch. It needs to sit on that 3/4 inch piece, and you want it just a little more narrow than that piece. Then you can just fold those, and I just do so as this edge becomes flat with this edge reasonably flat. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then we're going to go ahead and put adhesive or glue just on one of those triangles. On this piece, if we flip it over to the back, it's this middle section, and it's going to sit so this flat edge here is pointing towards that 3/4 inch section. You could do this later, but I'm going to do it now so that you can see it easier on the video. You need another piece of cardstock, or you could use even a piece of window sheet, just something that your little pop-up feature is going to sit on. And I'm just going to angle that. You don't have to, because that's going to sit like in here. And I'm going to angle it so that when it's sitting like this, this piece is going to be fairly perpendicular with the card. Okay, so now we just want to put our card together. So I want to just adhere this piece to that edge, and then I want to adhere this piece to this edge here, and make sure your edges here are lined up and your edges at the bottom are lined up. Okay, now when you open your card, this little piece sticks up. So we can put something fun on there, and you could make that shorter if you wanted to, depending how, you know, how it's worked out as far as size. Okay, there we go. That's how you do the pop-up. So now we just want to decorate or embellish the front of our card. I'm going to set that aside. Okay, so I got this color format from a demonstrator in the United States called Di Barnes, and I liked how her cats turned out. So I'm actually stamping the cat initially with Petal Pink, and then what I'm going to do is take Calypso Coral and a blending brush, and I'm just going to tap a little bit of that orange along the top of the cat, and then we stamp again. And if I feel like it needs a little bit more color, I can just keep stamping. It's one of the beauties of the Stamparatus. And if you don't have a Stamparatus in your collection yet, I do encourage you to go ahead and order that sooner rather than later. Now from there, I'm going to use my Stampin' Blends and also my basic gray Stampin' Write marker and just add some details to the cat. Cat onto my scallop circle. Now the white circle is from the Stylish Shapes. The scallop gray circle is from the Layering Circles dies. They work really well together. I'm just going to add a few dimensionals. Okay, I have to add a lot. I get teased for using too many dimensionals, so I must use too many dimensionals. Okay, then you can just decide where you want the cat to go. But I would, just from experience, just check where those words are going to end up so that you don't end up, you know, putting it in so it's blocking those words. So maybe about down here. Now I feel like it needs a little more color, so I did cut out some hearts. These are from the Share a Milkshake bundle. This is actually Poppy Parade, which I think is a nice color with the pool party. And then on the back, because you need a place to write something, you can just cut a piece of white or a couple of layers. I've used the largest stitched rectangle die, and of course might as well just use that last heart. You could stamp another cat on the back if you wished, and then you have a nice easy place to write. Last thing I'm going to do is just add a couple of gray or basic gray embellishments just to add a little bit more texture to the card. I have a few other samples here for you. I'll set that one aside. So this sample here is the same card design, but I have done it in a landscape. So I just adjusted the sizes a little bit, and I have used the Sweet Songbird bundle and the Sweet Songbird Punch, which is one that I quite like. I think it's pretty cute. And this one's got this cute little sign, so that was perfect for a pop-up. Okay, then on this one, I used the Amazing Year and paired that with the gingham paper. And so this time I just added a little bit more to that pop-up and kept the colors quite simple with the Fresh Freesia and the Balmy Blue. Okay, and then my last sample, I used the Irresistible Blooms papers. On these ones, I have started matting paper on here rather than just having the one layer of cardstock. So I've got a cardstock layer and a Designer Series paper layer. So this one's just a little more robust than the first one we did, but that just gives you a basic template. And for this one, I've cut out the flowers right out of the DSP for a relatively quick card. So there are my samples. I hope you enjoyed that and you give this project a try. Please download the PDF and of course share this video with your friends. Leave me a comment and I'll see you next video. This is Jackie Williams. Bye-bye.